Hi, and welcome to your season 16 competition makeup tutorial. I know doing comp makeup can be hard and stressful, so we're going to do a step-by-step tutorial on what it should look like and how you should do it. Step one is what I think the most important step, where you're going to go in with a good moisturizer to get your face moisturized, and then a good primer to make your skin tacky so your makeup has something to stick to and it lasts all day. This is the CeraVe moisturizing cream, and this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, but you can use whatever you'd like. Okay, next step is going to be eyebrows. I'm going to use this eyebrow glue from NYX. You can also go in with an eyebrow pencil if you need to fill in your eyebrows. I don't need to, so I'm just going to use eyebrow glue. Next step is going to be foundation or a base, and I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint. We want something full coverage, but not where you like really feel it on your face, because that's the worst. So I recommend this product. Alright, now that I have my base on, my next step is going to be concealer. This is a Rare Beauty concealer, but you can use whatever concealer you'd like. We're going to put this under our eyes, on our forehead, on our chin, and right underneath our cheekbones. This is what your concealer should look like. Looks a little crazy, but you also want to make sure that your concealer shade is lighter than your base shade, because it will give the highlighted look that we're going for. Alright, next step is going to be contour. We're going to be putting this on our forehead, on our cheekbones, a little bit on our jaw, and on our nose. This is what this should look like, and then you're going to blend. This is what that should look like. You don't want to do too much because it's going to look like you have brown lines all over your face, so don't do too much. Alright, next step is going to be blush. You are not going to use a shade like this. Yes, it's pretty for everyday use, but it's not every day. It's comp day. We're going in with bright pink. Blushes, this color, this one specifically from e.l.f., are very pigmented, so do not put an entire huge dot on your cheeks. It's not going to look good. You're going to look like a clown. This is a perfect size dot, and it's probably honestly too much. So you're going to put them right on your cheekbone and you're going to blend. Okay, that wasn't enough, so I did a little bit of a bigger dot, and now we're going to see if it's enough. This is the perfect amount because we're going to put powder blush on top, so you don't want to look too crazy yet. Alright, next step is going to be powder. We're going to be baking underneath our eyes, our forehead, our chin, underneath our cheekbones, and then you're going to take a big brush and you're going to do everywhere, but those are the main parts that we're going to be baking. This is a Maybelline Fit Me loose powder, and you're going to use a powder puff to buff it into your skin. Alright, this side of my face has powder on it, this side does not, and you can truly tell the difference because this side looks flawless and airbrushed and this side does not, so I'm going to show you how to do this side. You're going to fill your powder puff with powder, and you're literally going to dab it completely underneath your eye and on the side of your nose. Drag it upwards over your eyelid. Beautiful. We're going to do the same thing to our forehead, our chin, our cheekbone. This is what your face should look like after you have set the entire thing. Alright, at this point you can tell that our contour and blush have gotten a little dull, so we're going to brighten it up. First, we're going to go in with a bronzer. Key difference between a bronzer and a contour is that a bronzer is supposed to make you look tan, lifted, light. Contour is like dark. So don't go in with a powder contour, go in with a powder bronzer. Okay, I'm using a big fluffy brush, getting it all in there, and we're going to go over our cheekbones, our forehead, our jaw. There's already such a huge difference. We're going to do the other side. We want to make this as dramatic as we can without looking too crazy, because remember, you're going to be far away from the judges, so they need to see that you don't look sick. Next, we're going to go in with the powder blush. This is the NYX Buttermelt Blush in the shade Butterwood Time. Wow. It's hot pink. This is very pigmented. Don't go too crazy. This is the perfect amount of blush because judges are going to be able to see it, and you take photos, you're going to look snatched. Now that we're done with our base, we're going to go in with the setting spray. This is going to mix our cream and powder products together so they don't move and they last as long as possible. Okay, this next step is my least favorite, but a step that we cannot forget: eyeshadow. My key to a good eyeshadow is trying not to use as many blacks and grays and really using brown and warm tones because it just looks better. We're going to start off by getting a fluffy brush and going in with your most neutral tones and doing this all over your lid. Next, we're going to go in with your darkest color, which for me it's going to be brown, and we're going to put this on the outer rim of our eye. It's going to look like this, and it's going to look crazy, but trust the process. All right, next we're going to go in with a lighter brown shade to really fill in the rest of the space, but leave this part of your eyelid blank. All right, now that you've done that, we're going to blend out the rim of the eyeshadow because we don't want harsh lines. We want it to look flawless and seamless. All right, before we fill in this part of our eye, on the outer corner of our eyelid, we're going to go in with the darkest shade possible. Not black, very dark brown. We're going to pack this color into just our outer eyelid. We're going to blend it out. Perfect. All right, now we're going to fill in the rest of our eyelid. You're going to get a pretty compact brush. Spray it with setting spray, get it a little wet, and then we're going to dip into some glitter. Okay, have my glitter on my brush. We're going to pack this into what's left of our lid. And then with whatever is left on your other brush from your browns, you're just going to blend that harsh line that the glitter left. That's what it should look like. Okay, eyeliner is completely optional, but I'm going to take a little winged brush and go in with my darkest brown shade, and I'm going to do a nice small little eyeliner line on my upper lash line, and then on my bottom I'm going to smoke whatever's left down into my waterline, but not too much. Okay, we're going to blend it in with our little compact brush. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Alright, did both eyes. They're sisters, not twins, and that's okay because we're going to put some eyelashes on. Alright, for eyelashes, these are the Kiss So Wispy eyelashes. You're going to take a pair, you're going to cut them down to your eye length, and you're going to glue them on. Alright, once you have your eyelashes on, you're going to curl them and put some mascara on top, just to make sure they stick together. Alright, we're done with eyelashes. Next step is going to be highlighter. I'm going to use the same color that I put on my eyelid. We're going to do our cheekbones. Then we're going to do our nose. We're going to do the tip of it and up here. And next we're just going to do our inner corner. And then just on right under our eyebrow. We're going to set this. Last step is going to be red lipstick. This is the Revlon Color Stay lipstick in the shade Fire Off. Next, you're just going to do whatever touch-ups you need to, like more blush. And that's it.